are here.
Hey, good morning, everybody. We're coming to you live from the 17th hole at TPC Sawgrass. We're going to be broadcasting a few live segments here from the Distillery Channel, and I'm with the beautiful and dynamic, world-renowned Miss Kira.
Yes, and to the left of me is Uncle Randy. You're usually on my right side.
I know,
this is
really
super weird.
So we have to talk backwards and sideways just to make it all come out right. Anyway, we've had a great day this morning. Miss Kira had an interview. If you haven't seen it, go to the Miss Kira Facebook page.
I invited two new people.
Yep, two new people bringing into the hashtag Invite Her campaign of the LPGA. But today at the 17th, it's a special day because in honor of Tom Watson's longtime caddy, Bruce Edwards, who passed away due to Lou Gehrig's disease a number of years ago, about 10 to 12 years ago. The caddies have a special day today where it's the closest to the pin to raise money for that foundation
That's
to help
amazing.
cure Lou Gehrig's disease. So we're going to be sitting here for a while. We're going to turn the camera around, just let it run.
Wait.
Go ahead, Miss Kira.
Look what I'm wearing today.
What are you wearing today? All right.
Do you want to do that? Want to tell people?
Yep. What we did is that last week we began a relationship with Cobra Puma.
Woohoo!
And we're really excited about going to be having a lot of their clothes on camera on our shows, the Happy Hour Golf Travel and Sipping Show, which are going to begin next week again.
And Miss Kira.
And Miss Kira Live, her 18 plus 1 steps into golf. And today what we're going to do is that in honor of Bruce Edwards, we're going to turn the camera around.
I'm going to flip it.
And we're just going to let, you can just sit and enjoy the day. We'll try to pick up who's on the green and give you some live comments of what happens.
Look how beautiful it is.
Will I be in your way?
No, you're fine.
You are perfectly.
We love you in the way. It looks like there's more than 2 people here.
All you do, go out to the parking lot, pan all the cars in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So here is the 17th hole, famous 17th hole.
Famous 17th hole. A lot of water. It's about 100 and they can play anywhere from 135 to 157 yards. Tiger at his news conference yesterday said that in May was not a problem, but in March, generally what they do in May, they're going to use a wedge to a 9-iron. In March, there have been times when he was between, as he said yesterday, a 5 and 6-iron.
Guess what? But we did something very cool this morning. We got to hang out with the trophy.
We did. We
did an interview with them.
We interviewed the new trophy. If you want to see.
It wasn't a talker.
No, he didn't say much to say, but beautiful. Just let it go.
Okay.
And beautiful new trophy that they designed. Tiger yesterday, not touching the trophy sitting in front of him, but said he would love to have that on his mantle.
The new mantle.
The new mantle.
Or the new trophy.
Yep, the new trophy. So he's got 2 crystal trophies from past winning. But our pick this year, my pick is Tiger to win. He's just playing too good.
Who's your number 2 and number 3 again?
And number 2, I'm going to have a little surprise pick in there for number 2 is going to be Bryson DeChambeau.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Yep.
And I think I know number 3, right? We interviewed him.
We interviewed him this morning. He's going to sneak up through the pack. Nobody realizes how great he's playing. That's going to be Peter Uihlein.
Who's he related to?
He is related to the man of golf about 6 years ago, former CEO of Titleist, but I've known Peter since he was 10 years old. He's a former U.S. amateur champion.
How do you know him since you were
when we were doing synthetic greens, Mr. Uihlein decided to have his whole backyard tore up to make a synthetic backyard, about a 10,000 square foot learning center for his 10-year-old son. One of the funny things we saw at his home in Boston, the home of Acushnet in the backyard, Mr. Uihlein thought his son might play for Duke, so they put in a full-size basketball court. But at the age of 10, when we met Peter, who was about 4 feet tall, he decided that wasn't going to work. So we put in this beautiful backyard. And talking to Peter this morning, he really did claim that because he was able to use it all year, worked out well. Peter went on to win the U.S. Amateur. He moved down when he was about 14. I think it was the David Ledbetter Academy. He lived down here, went to the school. Went on to play, I think, for Oklahoma. Went on to win the U.S. Amateur.
So he's just like Ricky Fowler, Oklahoma?
I think that's correct. And he won the U.S. Amateur, which we took all the credit for because of putting in his backyard green. And he went on to play in Europe. We asked him this morning about his time in Europe. And he said he had a great time going to Kazakhstan in an earlier interview. But he and a friend, basically his best friend, one of his friends from College, who was his caddy. They went on their own on a venture and went from the British Open, or now the Open, and got an invite to go play in India. And later what happened with Peter is cutting his teeth over there, hooked up with Brooks Koepka, who was learning his game at the time. And they toured all the way through Dubai and Qatar, India, South Africa, all the different invites that they could get. And what happened with Peter was he had enough money that he earned. He moved up in status to one of the top 70 players in the world, and then became one of the top 50, which got him into his status in America. And he got in here through playing his way in through getting FedEx points we learned this morning. So,
I have a question. Are we going to that little press conference later on?
which press conference are you interested in going to?
Brooks Koepka.
Brooks Cupcake?
Yes.
Koepka.
Yes, Koepka.
Yeah,
You're the wrong person.
The wrong person. He will be, they're going to be, I think, this afternoon. We have a list of interviews that we can go catch in the media
Here,
center.
let's see. Here, you
I will
take
hold
this,
this.
and I'll ramble off.
Yeah. We got a new set of players you can see in the background over there coming up to the 17th tee. Less anxiety today than they will have beginning tomorrow, because tomorrow when they put the peg in the ground and draw it back, it means something. But today I think they have two sets of tees over there, one for the players and one for the caddies. I don't know if the caddies are going to use the ones in the right, and I don't know if they're going to use those tees in the right. Generally they don't. Who are
We
interviews
missed
this
Justin. We missed DJ. He was at 11. Jay Ohan is at 11.
Jay Monahan is the commissioner of the PGA Tour.
Oh, I didn't know that. Francesco is at 1:30. Koepka 2:30. Webb 3.
Yep.
Sensen 3:30.
Correct.
Yes. But that press conference for first timers was quite interesting.
Yeah, we
interviewed TJ Poston. We met with Taylor Gooch. And who else did we interview?
Well,
Peter. We interviewed Peter.
Peter Uline, yeah, a great interview with Peter. But our first interview was with Taylor Gooch's chairholder,
Yes.
who knew nothing about golf.
We have something in common.
Yeah, it was really
Well,
a
I
great
mean,
interview.
I learned more than probably that kid knows.
Well, I don't know. Measuring golf is always a hard thing to do. Anyway, we do have somebody on the tee.
With
I have no clue.
DJ.
It's a right-handed golfer.
DJ. Is it up there?
Now on the tee, DJ, Patton Kazar, and Dominic Weckerly. I have no idea which one this is. You can always tell DJs. If I had to guess, I would say that this is Dominic. Yeah, sort of a lag through. Let's see if we can pick up the ball on the green.
Oh, yep. Oh, it bounced.
Got two balls on the green. Great shot. Got two balls in the green, about 10 to 12 feet apart. That, where the pin is now, will never be used this weekend. Ever.
No.
It's just a target.
So where's the tee? Where is it going to be tomorrow?
Tomorrow, generally on Thursday, they put it on, which would be our right. From
Yes.
the player's point of view, be the left. And it'll be back a little bit. Sunday, of course, will be on the left-hand side. Traditional Sunday post. And anyway, we'll see.
Are your hands getting tired?
Not at all. We got another one coming up. This looks like DJ. Let's do
Yeah.
the size.
I can tell by his stance.
I would say that's DJ. And we'll see. Oh! Wow! Foot and a half to the right. I wonder why that guy's number one in the world. Do you have any idea?
I don't know. I mean, maybe we should ask the audience why DJ is number one.
Why is DJ number one?
Can we have a poll?
That's a pretty exciting shot in the 2 days we've been here.
Yes.
He hit it, landed an inch from the hole on the left and it bounced an inch about a foot back. So he'd give anything for that on Sunday, but that flag again will not be there come Sunday. Now going over on
The green.
no, they're going over to the tees. I think where the caddies are going to have.
Oh, now it's their chance.
Their chance now for closest to the pin contest. DJ's caddy is going to have a little challenge to get inside the pros shot.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Thank you, Randy, for your
That's okay.
ticket to Hit Me in the Face. It won't be the last time, I'm sure. thing happened to us yesterday.
Hey, a lot.
At the 18th hole.
Oh yeah, we bumped into. We had a really nice
Our
picture.
good friend.
That was actually a great swing. Whoever hit that. Let's go down and see where that ends up.
Oh, wow.
And that's a good one. That was a good swing. Whoever that caddy was.
It's Andrew
Medley.
Medley. I
That
wonder.
was his caddy.
So do they always do the
Oh,
kick?
this one doesn't have a chance. This one's going to be shanked right. There'll be a splash on this one. Joe Etter is going to hit this to the right, short of the pond, and predict. Not making the green. Oh my goodness, here we go. Let's see if we see a splash. He did it. He did it. He did it. All right. All right. Very good. That is your 18 handicapper that made it to the green. Good for
Really?
him.
18?
Just based on his swing.
Oh.
He had a swing for a Pro-Am 18 handicapper. Okay. Austin Johnson. Sounds like Dustin's brother.
I was going to say, are they
There's a
related?
good swing. Let's see what happens.
Ooh, that was close.
Good for those guys.
So I have a question for you.
Walk a couple holes now and
From somebody that doesn't know what's it called. How does the caddy get picked?
Huh?
What's the process?
The caddy gets picked many different ways.
Tell the viewers, because I am interested in
Typically,
that aspect.
yeah, basically caddies in the past have been,
Goodbye, our two viewers.
See you later.
See you later.
cable TV tonight or what?
Hey, Peter Uline used to take lessons from my brother.
Cool. Who's that?
Huh?
Who's that?
Tom Kavicki at the Harmon Club south of Boston.
Very cool.
Awesome. You guys had
And,
a good one.
Anyway, how did a caddy get picked? Well, generally, the first choice you have is in your family.
Yep.
If you have a brother, cousin, father-in-law, wife,
Kind.
can be any one of those. Can somebody you want to be comfortable with?
So kind of like Stricker has his wife.
Always has had his wife. Generally, his wife. Yeah, they love it, and she caddied actually at the Champions event in Madison last year.
Yep.
She caddied at the U.S. Open 2 years ago at Aaron Hills.
Wow.
So
what's the other step?
So the other steps are is that you can go anywhere from Arnold Palmer when he played over in the Open originally back in the 60s, hired a caddy that was familiar with the Open golfers because he needed somebody that had to point out where to hit the ball.
Yeah.
A lot of caddies, they look for bags because caddies, I've always asked the question, how do they get paid? And one of the things is that if your player wins,
Yeah.
typically you're supposed to get a 10% of the winning check.
Bless you, sir.
So
You're welcome.
that can be anywhere from a couple years ago when one of the players won the FedEx Cup. The caddy was really excited because he knew he was going to get a 10% cut of there's DJ. And anyway, he ended up getting a 10% cut and a check for $1 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And
So
I think that was Jordan's caddy, actually, a good friend of his.
So what happens if you just have a caddy one time?
You can do that. There's been stories even this past year with Cooch had hired a caddy down in Mexico that had an agreement, verbal agreement. It was quite a story. Cooch would never cheat anybody out of anything. Anyway, Cooch went down there a year ago, paid the guy $5,000, which was the agreement. But actually, typically, after this year, they went back and they redid that, and he solved it by actually cutting the guy a bigger check. So everything is cool. But caddies can be from a caddy pool. The bigger players do try to show respect and not hire a caddy away from anybody. And there's just a lot of different formulas. If I was playing on tour, I think I would have a son or somebody I knew very, very well, just because I don't want to get outside my bubble, and basically I would have a lot of fun. And
You would have to have fun.
you know, a lot of golfers don't. A lot of golfers are so measured that it's measured from the moment they get up. Their whole day is
So
put
it's
together by
not,
their media company and sponsors.
So it's not milkshakes and
And
fried chicken.
And fried chicken, no. Except this morning we did talked to Taylor Gooch. I asked him, do you have chocolate shakes and cheeseburgers? And he goes, yeah, strangely I do. So that's a pretty cool interview.
He's friends with Mr. Art Strickland.
Yeah.
Oh, my hip just cracked.
So anyway, DJ went down and picked up his 6-inch putt. That doesn't no good. And now they're just trying to get the speed of the green because that pin will never, ever be there. Ever.
Tell them the interesting fact about this hole and the tee. About how there's the slope.
Well, on the green, yeah. What they'll do is they'll probably, after they get done putting to this hole, if they had money on this game, they'll finish out. And they might go and try some putts around the green because today's the last day that they can go practice. On the green, they'll probably put some balls down over by the Sunday pin placement and try that. They might go, as you can see from our right, where the caddy is throwing down a 4-inch disc, where the pin will probably be tomorrow. And they'll putt over to that, get the feel, because there's a little hump in the middle of the green going both ways that they have to learn. Of course, the famous putt that Tiger did was on this green, and the famous quote, better than most, was on this green. And it was a putt that he actually talked about yesterday in the news conference, that he got a teach by one of our friends that 4-putted right before him on that famous putt, where he literally knocked his first putt off the green. And I think our famous Wisconsin friend was that.
Are you talking about the person we just talked about, or
No,
somebody else?
our Wisconsin friend that I gave a putting lesson to.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Somebody that's well known.
Yep.
We'll leave it.
So anyway,
that
what
we were on the airplane.
Yeah. So anyway, Tiger, when he got to his putt, the better than most is that he saw that it broke 2 ways, and he said yesterday he absolutely hit his spot. He hit the speed, and of course it caught the right edge of the cup. So they asked him also if that was one of the most famous putts that he had ever hit. His comment was perfect. He said, I've hit a lot of famous putts. He did agree that was a putt that was one of the best, but he felt that he had hit some putts to make it into playoffs in majors like Valderrama, I think he mentioned. And of course, I'm sure he would talk about the putt that he made on a broken leg to get into the playoff at the U.S. Open against Rory Sabatini, because it was about a 15-footer that he sunk on a broken leg, by the way. So anyway, what a beautiful day here at the 17th. Anybody would want to sit and spend some time, if you come down here, we're going to be here. We're going to be putting the suntan lotion on here
Yeah,
real
Miss
soon.
Kira already got burnt.
So you can see where the discs are on the green. That disc in the front right from our perspective is the front left from the player's perspective. You can see the balls gathering down there. Probably tomorrow's pin is going to be there. So they'll never attack that pin, but they will be practicing the shots from the middle part of the green. See that ball, and you can put the ball off the green down there. And as an accomplished professional golfer, putting the ball off a green is not your scoring itinerary of great golf shots. This green was actually designed.
Who was it designed by?
It was designed by the wife of Pete Dye. She said that they had to do something a little bit more charming, I guess, as she put it. And
well, it is very charming.
see, on the back of a napkin is the Dye's, their meticulous way of designing golf courses. He listened to her, and they put this green in, and what could anybody say? This is Dye, you're wrong, or thank you very much for the opportunity. So, it's one of the most famous holes in golf, if not the most famous hole in golf. And Alice Dye, I think, just passed away in the past 15 months. If you go back to the early days of the championship, there was a golf course. I don't believe it was this. I think it was another golf course that was one, and again, I have to reach back into my memory bank. Anyway, the player said, if I win this, I'm going to take the designer, and he and I are going to go swimming in that lagoon. And that's exactly what they have.
It looks quite refreshing.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever done that? Besides them?
I do not believe you want to go swimming in this lagoon.
What?
Again, you're in Florida.
Yeah, I get that.
And things fall into
Crawl.
that. Yeah.
Just like, every pond has creatures.
And this one does. Even though it's contained and everything else.
Doesn't mean that wildlife can't get into it.
Just assume they're there.
Yeah.
An alligator or crocodile can outrun a human in a heartbeat.
I know. I totally believe that. Here's a nice little crowd.
What's interesting about today, if you ever want to come down to this tournament, you can get tickets for anywhere from $10 to $25. It's not that expensive.
It's just paying for parking.
Well, you want to make sure you got your parking pass lined up online if you're going to do something other than Uber. And because if you come here and think you're going to park, ain't happening.
Yep. Some people learn that the hard way.
Yep. And what's really interesting in St. Augustine, you'd see no evidence of even in this major tournament being there.
Yep.
It's just a great place to go.
Let's see who's coming next. Who's up next, you think?
So what do you think, Miss Joanne? Is this a tough way to spend the day?
No, it's awesome.
She looks like she's really not enjoying this whatsoever. Let's see. Who's the next person? What other fun things did we do yesterday? Randy. Uncle Randy.
Well, we did you had your news conference that they can go find on Miss Kira.
Kira.
Yeah, there's a guy that we're having a hard time because he sneaks into the press tent.
Yeah,
Uncle
he's
Curious.
not allowed there.
Uncle Curious is stalked.
Yeah, let's flip this so we can.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, now it's blurry. Hold on. Okay, we can talk like this.
Yeah.
So
anyway, we had, and I thought I saw him sneaking up behind us here a minute ago. And if it is, I'm gonna have to get up and leave.
we're gonna have to go to a different
I'm gonna
hole.
have to go. Yeah, I think he's. Wait a minute, I see him down there. I'm
I
gonna
think-
have to leave for a minute. I gotta go tell him not to get up here. I'm gonna have to get security. I'll be right back. Leave that on because I'll be right
Okay.
back.
Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna flip this. Let's see. Let's see who's next. Adam Long. I can't pronounce it. And Zuby. Oh gosh.
Curious.
Can we get some security?
Just curious. Hey, why don't Uncle Randy is always bothering me? I ducked around today. I just have one question for you. Miss Kira.
Yes.
So, being I've heard you're the fresh face of the LPGA.
I am.
Is that face the face that you put on in the morning, or is it, like rotten bananas before you put your
You
makeup?
tell me.
So
It
how's that?
depends. I try to go for the natural look, not nightclub party.
I want the real story.
You want the real story about Miss Kira? So, Uncle Curious, did you know that Miss Kira and Ricky Fowler have a lot more in common than people know?
I understand you're trying to date me.
No.
I heard that. I saw it.
No, we work with them.
I put it up on Facebook. That's what
No,
I
you
thought the
didn't.
situation.
No. We work with his company.
Miss Kira, how
Want
did
me
you-
to tell them? Uncle Curious, this is who we work with. Can you tell? Can you see it? That's who we work with.
Well,
There's other players like Lexi.
why do you get a beautiful hat like that from, what is that, from Providence, Rhode Island? Is that what that piece came from?
Puma. Cobra Puma.
I got a Puma.
I bet you do.
I do. You should see my Puma.
Get out
I
of
keep
here.
it.
We need to get something.
Yeah.
Yeah. somebody's getting arrested. Must be curious.
There he is. Anyway, it's a very, very beautiful, beautiful place you have here.
Okay, we're gonna. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I see Uncle Randy coming back. I can't be here anymore.
Okay.
I don't want to get smacked in the face.
You guys got beat. He beat
He's
you up. Talking about getting beat up, we almost did a prank yesterday. It would have been quite entertaining.
Why do you let Uncle Curious talk to you that way?
I don't. He comes up to me. I don't want to talk to him.
I don't get it.
You know what I find quite fascinating this week? There are a lot of PXG hats.
Where?
There's one right there.
No.
Rainey, what's your opinion on PXG?
Well,
I mean, because you know Zach.
Zach's doing quite average.
Quite.
I'm going to say my opinion because anybody that plays professional golf is there and I'm not, and I wish them the best. And
Bless
you. I think there's a lot of great companies that people can play, and PXG is trying to find its niche.
Yes.
And I hope they do find their niche. I hope they help grow the game.
Yes.
I think it would be a great place for...
Oops, somebody hit the water.
Uh-oh, a splash-orama. All right, we probably have to stop our broadcast here.
I'm going to flip it so they can see this awful view that we have to deal with for the rest. People are leaving because we're signing off shortly. For Uncle Randy and Miss Kira.